Hello, I'm Courtney Cardini, and welcome back to Life of a Travel Writer. It is Sunday, March 23rd, and we were out all day, so I forgot to film, and forgive me because I also forgot that the hotel likes to do live music on evenings, weekend evenings, so hopefully you can't hear it, but they're right across the street from us. So yes, so it is March 23rd, we spoke last Sunday, and the week went by so fast. Monday we started, we actually decided to go to Akumal, which is about a half an hour drive from here, and it is a national park that has access to turtles. So you can go to the park, and then there's one section where you can just like be at the beach or the restaurants and everything, but then there's one section where you can go on a tour and see the turtles. You only get 45 minutes. It's not that big of an area. You have to wear a life jacket, and you get snorkel goggles, and you're not supposed to touch the ground because of the fact that just because I guess the way the cove is, there is grass and everything that has grown for the turtles, so the turtles like to go there to eat, so that is why it is such a big attraction there, and it's really big for the community, because even if you go over the main bridge from the beach and you go into the town, you see these big giant turtle statues and everything, which I love because I am a great fan of turtles, so I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to put a clip in it of some of the turtles. It's the most turtles I've ever seen in one spot, and I've gone to a couple different places to see turtles, Hawaii, Tahiti, the Seychelles, and usually you just see one or two, but we saw so many, which was great, and they did not seem to be bothered by us at all, which was also very nice. They were just chilling, eating. The one mom turtle seemed more annoyed by the baby turtle than the people, which is great because I get iffy about doing certain tour things, especially if it involves animals, because I don't like anybody, like people or animals, to be exploited. So I'm very picky about doing certain tours. But then one of our friends who is from Mexico City, but she lives here now, and she used to give tours there, so she let me know that it is okay, and she's the one who took us and everything like that. So it is ethical. You can't touch the turtles. Obviously, you're not allowed to do that, but like no one touches the turtles. Everyone's really nice. Everyone behaves very well, which is great because I would like the opportunity to see as many turtles as I can, especially in the wild, which is great. Zoos are great, I feel, for educational purposes, for obviously animals that that wouldn't survive if they were on their own, but if they can survive on their own, then I don't think they should be in a zoo. But that is a whole other ethical dilemma. But if you are in Playa and it is something that you would like to do, I highly suggest it. It does kind of stink that you only get 45 minutes, but how long could you be snorkeling anyway? Of course, you could do it for a while, but there's not too much else to see but the turtles and the grass, and then there's so many people, like sometimes it gets a little too crowded, so it's nice just to have that little bit of time to see the turtles and then to go sit on the beach. It's a really nice area in general. They have, after our friend who told us, who used to give tours there, they have new condos that are there that are nice, but it was really sad because the condos on the end actually got destroyed from the hurricane, and they haven't fixed them up. She's not really sure what's going on with the property. Hopefully they will sell them and use them for something, because the area is absolutely gorgeous. So it's a very nice area. It's a very nice beach. We didn't eat at the restaurant or anything like that. We went into town just to see what we could find. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it's something that I suggest. I'll put the information below, just in case you want to check it out if you're ever in Playa. But that is how we started off the week. And then the rest of the week was work week, except today because we went out with friends today. But yeah, so it was a good week. I only ran a couple times this week, but I did hit my fastest 4 miles, which was 53 minutes and 22 seconds. I think I did that on Thursday. I only ran about 3 or 4 times this week just because how our schedule worked out, and then we ended up going out Friday night, so I didn't run Saturday. But I ran today, and that was a little slower. I think I was at 54 minutes for my mile, or for my run. But because I hit 53 minutes on Thursday, I was a little tired Friday, so I didn't run Friday. It was nice hitting 53. I can feel it when I get to. The more you train, I feel, and the more you know your body and everything like that, and when you get to a certain level and you know you're trying to hit a goal, there is just something that tells you to push yourself just a little bit harder, and I really like that. But I have a tendency to push myself too far because I know that pain is only temporary, and I have been injured, so I do try to keep it on the more safe side because of the fact that if you injure yourself, it just takes longer to recover, which means it takes longer to meet your goals. So I was pushing it, and I didn't really feel it in my legs or anything. It was in my lungs that I feel it because I do have exercise-induced asthma. When it gets to a certain point, it is basically like suffocating for me. And it hurts all on the side of the rib cage, and then sometimes the pain rises from my stomach and the side of my rib cage up to like the top of my chest, and it really feels like a big the only way I could describe it is like a big crushing feeling. So even though I was getting to that point of almost passing out, I was like, I'm going to finish this under 54 minutes. So I was proud that I did that, but I do recommend, please be careful when you are pushing yourself to certain limitations, because if you don't do it correctly, you can injure yourself, and I have seen that happen before. So yeah, so the running was great. I'm very proud of that. I can't believe I'm already in week 12. I forgot to do my little intro. It is week 12. We're 12 videos in out of 52. I'm very excited. I'm also very excited for quarter 2 because I do plan my yearly schedule, the 12-week year. And obviously I didn't make that up. I got that from the book, but even before I found the book, I found that I was doing that naturally just because of how university was. So I kept that habit from university because obviously each semester is a certain amount of time, then you get a break, then you have summer break and everything like that. So I've always planned things in big chunks. But now that we are at the end of quarter 1 and I have reached most of my word count goals for my books for quarter 1, which for book 1, we are still currently in book proposal. I am waiting on notes from my literary agent. Book 2, my goal for quarter 1 was to hit 18,750 words, and I am currently at 18,547 words, which I didn't realize until today. So I'm very excited about that. So that goal is almost done. For book 3, my goal was 6,250 words, and as of today, I am sitting at 6,700 words. So I'm very excited that not only did I hit that goal, but I surpassed it. So that is awesome. And I now feel that book 3 is really coming together because I'm writing it in present day, and that's how I'm focusing that book, like, because the first 2 travel memoirs, that time has already passed, so I'm writing off of past events. This 3rd book I am writing during current events because I'm just trying to get that skill to improve. So that's something that I want to do. Not only do I want to be able to write about past events, but I want to have a certain amount of time where I work on current events and then turn that into something. So yeah, so I'm very excited for that, and I do feel that when I first started it, I I felt more like diary entries, and now that I'm starting to get into the flow of it, I see a theme and threads coming, and I'm really starting to build on those. So I'm very excited about that, because that book is about, my, not just, it's about going from the ship to going to writing. And now that I have a literary agent, what is that experience like as I'm pivoting from sailor to writer, and I'm working on my pitches, and I'm trying to make travel writing my full income while I'm doing other things. So it's a nice experience to have. Even if it doesn't turn into anything, I think it's a nice skill to have in general, because it's something that you can go back on and analyze and really focus on and see where your strong points were and where your weak points are, and then be able to analyze it and use it in future scenarios. So I'm very excited about that. And then book 4 is my first fiction book, and my goal is 6,000 words by the end of quarter 1, and I am currently at 5,396, so hitting that won't be a problem. I'm very excited about that. I do need to... I feel that my focus has been more on book 2 and book 3. I feel like the fiction book has fallen on the wayside a little bit, but I'm still keeping up with it. And I think that's the most important thing that people don't realize with writing, and what I've seen from other writers and from myself, is that some projects need time to breathe. I think it's good to just get out what you can, and then you sit and you let it breathe, and then you come back to it. So I think that's especially important when you're trying to make writing your full-time career and you want to write as many books as you can. Some projects just need to sit. You need to do what you can, and then you need to sit. And I'm really trying to focus on that, because like I said last week, I was listening to How to Become a Successful Writer by Russell, and his last name begins with an N. And a big thing for him that he not harped on, but really focuses on, is the fact that if you want to be a successful writer, you have to have a backlog. So a lot of quarter 1, I've been spending building that backlog, and also getting into YouTube, and then of course other things that I've been working on. But in terms of that, backlog is a very big important thing. And I think that's also why I wanted to spend the beginning of the year starting to build other projects that I will have done, hopefully, by quarter 2 or quarter 3. I am going to try to push my word count up for book 2. I feel that since the year has already passed, I can spend more time just getting out what it is that I want to talk about, and past trips and everything like that. So I think I can... I might bump up the word count for quarter 2, but I'm not sure yet. We're just going to leave it at that, having another 18,750 words at the end of quarter 2, but we'll see. Now that I have an extra week in quarter 1, we'll see how far I get, and see. It would be nice to have the first draft of book 2 done by the summer. Because then I can maybe start working on the give the book proposal to my literary agent. I have already started the book proposal for this book, just because since I'm already doing the book proposal with book 1, I'm trying to take what I'm learning as I do book 1 and then formulate it towards book 2, so that when the draft is done, I can give it to my literary agent. And I'm only waiting until the draft is done because of the fact that I just want to feel comfortable with having a word count. For memoirs and things like that, most people don't finish the draft before they start doing a book proposal and finding a literary agent, but that's just because it's nonfiction, and nonfiction is different than fiction. When you write a fiction book, you have to have the draft done, because the literary agent needs to read the full draft in order to see if it's something that they think they can sell. Nonfiction is a different scenario. So yes, so that's where we are at the moment. Book 3, of course, I don't plan on having done until the end of the year, because of the fact that I'm writing it during present time. And then for my fiction novel, I am I wasn't really going to push myself to see if I could finish it by the end of the year, but I might do so, just to have maybe a full draft done by the end of the year, or even a small one. I am trying to stay on the shorter end of the word count for this one because it is going to be my first fiction novel that I've completed from front to back and try to sell. So we shall see how that goes. So that's books. And then, my quarter two, since my word count is up for quarter one and I've started those projects and I feel that those projects, the foundation is very solid for them, I am now pushing myself into more pitch work. I have a lot of things that I want to do. I have a long list of publications that I would like to work with. I have some people that I have found online that I really admire, and I'm really trying to take what I've learned from them and push that forward. And I'm really trying to double my byline count this year. Last year I had 3 bylines, all with Business Insider. This year I would like to have a minimum of 6, but because I am an ambitious person, I am trying to get as many as I can. My long-term goal, though, is 100 bylines, like just some crazy number that I'm just trying to aim to, or 100 rejections. Either way, 100 rejections because at least you are applying. 100 bylines just to make your career look good. So I'm currently reading the Byline Bible by Susan, and I forgot her last name. I will put the info down below. And she is a professor at the New School in New York, and I've never heard about her before. I just happened to find the book while I was doing some research, and then I read the forward by Peter, and I forgot his last name, but he works for the New York Times. I think he is the editor for the opinion section. And his intro was just really, really nice. And then I read her intro to the book and it made me cry. It was just so, I don't even know how to explain. Just, when you find something you relate to and it just makes you feel like, oh, that's what I'm looking for. That this book, I think, is what I'm looking for. She talks a lot about how the fact that when she started attending university, and she wanted to be a writer, but they weren't teaching them how to write. And that they weren't teaching them how to write. They were teaching them how to do literary work and do it well, but they were not teaching them how to apply to get their work published. And they were not teaching them how to pitch for magazines and pitch for newspapers or pitch stories to editors. And she was really harping on that when she was in university. And she got a lot of pushback, and a lot of people said, we are a university. This is an education, academic setting. This is not a trade school. If that's the kind of teaching you want, then you need to go to like a copy edit school or trade school or something like that, find a trade program. So she really dedicated herself to figuring out how to write a successful byline, and then not only just write a successful byline, but also teach people how to write a successful byline. And she spent a great deal of her career writing bylines, but then she also needed to teach in order to make her, because she said she wasn't making a living full-time off of just doing bylines. So she started teaching, which was great for her career. But then she reached a certain point. I think she said in her 40s, she finally wrote her first novel. And now she has several books out. So, and that is the type of career I'm looking for. I'm not only looking to publish books, but I'd also like to publish bylines, and I would like to have a well-rounded career. And I think that goes for anybody. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. And yes, I do want to publish a book a year, but because that's the type of writer that I want to be. And because it goes along with the fact that I want to continue to travel and I want to continue to educate myself. So that is why I want to write a book a year, because of the fact that it is just building on the skills that I already have and that I want to continue to master. So I'm really, really liking it. I'm only in chapter 2, I think, and I think it is great. It's the intro, and then the first chapter is the first assignment, so that is why I haven't moved on to chapter 2, is because I'm working on assignment 1, which is, what did she call it? The point of the assignment is to write something that you are embarrassed about or ashamed about, just something that not like a secret, but just something, something that makes you uniquely you, and that, is something that can be relatable. Like, so I don't have the book with me. I forgot what I want. Did she call it embarrassing? Either way, it is a great book, and if bylines are something that you are interested in doing, I highly, highly recommend it. I think it is great. Oh, here, I have my thing on my Kindle. Let's see if I can find it. Am I in still section 1? Where's assignment 1? What do I write? Yes. It is humiliating. That's what she calls it. She calls it the humiliating assignment, and that's what she starts off all her courses with, which I think is great. I think, as Hemingway always said, you're not really writing, you're bleeding on paper. So I do agree with that. She says it could be a failure, some kind of drama, an addiction, some type of secret life. And I also like about the book is that she mentions her students, and she mentions articles that her students and her herself have published. So you can actually, and because I downloaded it on Kindle, you can actually go read those articles, which is nice. I think that's great. And then, of course, on her website, she has a list of her clippings, and it is a very, very, very long and very impressive list. So I have been stalking that and doing a lot of research. So yeah, so for quarter 2, my main focus is bylines. It is very important to me. I am very much looking forward to see how far I can push myself with this skill. I did just want to I focused a lot on travel pitches last year, and this year I am going to be reshaping that. Yes, I would like my main focus to be travel, but as a writer, I understand that I need to broaden my horizons, and see what I could come up with. So I am trying to push myself and really get myself more out there. So yeah, so that is week 12. I am very excited. I gotta look at the calendar. I don't even know. We are here for a few more weeks. I'm very excited. Playa del Carmen has grown on me in the sense that I love a good beach town. I have to say, it's nice to be here. I was not too excited when we were in. All right, so my camera has overheated once again, and my battery is on the way out. So as I was saying, I wasn't really a fan of Puerto Escondido last year, but I am really loving Playa. I think because it is a beach town and I have a really nice running path. I do look forward to my runs in the morning, so I'm very grateful for that. And I think it's different because we have more friends here this time around. We didn't have a lot of friends in Puerto Escondido, but this time we do. So it makes a huge difference. I'm involved in more yoga things, and I'm going to acro again this week, and hopefully I will be teaching for the last couple of weeks that I'm here, but we shall see. So hopefully next week I have some new updates. So I hope you have a great week, and thank you so much for being here. Goodbye.